Okay, I'll be showing you how to work with CSS. So you apply style to your HTML, and so the structure to your content when you use CSS. So this is part one of the CSS videos, and so the emphasis today is on navigation, and then we'll go down to different parts of the website as we go. So first of all, create the HTML file with the navigation. And so remember, save as HTML. So I'm just going to go straight to making sure it's .html. So so make sure that's all files. If you've watched the first video, you would understand what I'm doing. So I'll call this home.html. Okay, and save. I'll save it in my folder called websites. Okay, and you'll see that's where it's gonna be for now. Okay, and so this is the HTML file that I have. And so I'll quickly start with doc type HTML, which is HTML5. Okay, so I would have that as doc type, and then would go straight to the tags, and so I will start HTML, HTML open, HTML close. Okay, remember, it's basically, you basically have to know this. So remember, we have the header. It's just like a recap of what you already should have known from the last video. So I have to open this and close this. Okay, head, and then the body is open and closed as well. Okay, the body open and body close. Okay, so if we have this, when we have this, we can now quickly add stuff to the title. If we choose to, but just put a title right there. But well, I just put a title and call it navigation. Okay. So this navigation, and then you close this. So this title is closed right here. Okay, and so that's open and closed, and so the body is going to have, well, within the head, because I'm going to use external style sheet. I'm going to use, this is how to use it. I mean, for the external, you have to link, and then colon, specify that it's so remember that okay, style sheet. Okay, so remember that when you have this, it's not colon. I just wanted to show you that it's actually equal to, and this is an attribute. Okay, and so you can say the type is the same way you text. Okay, text slash CSS. Okay, all right, and then you have the um, href. That's where your style sheet is. You have to tell what because I'm saving in the same folder. I'm just going to use style.css. That's why I'm going to call it anyway when I've created it. I haven't created it now, but as soon as I create it, I'm going to call it style.css. And so this is important when you use an external style sheet. And so I've written this, and you can see you have more than one thing on the head. Like the last time we had a video, we had just the title, but now we have a link as well. And so we'll go straight to the body where we have the navigation. So I will introduce you to a div. So there's a div when you want to um, okay. There's not a div because I want to actually use my style sheet. Div is basically like parts of the site, or like, I wouldn't say section. I would so it's when you want to add style to a part of the site, you use a div. You know, especially when you're using the external style sheet. Okay, so the div I have right there, div open and close. So I would also I would now put my um um links inside as well, or I can decide to put home, about, contact us. But these are basically links that we normally have on sites. And so inside this div, I would want to use you can use an ID or class. Um, Depending on what you use, if you use the ID, is you will call it it will be a hashtag on your style sheet. But if you use a class, it could be a dot. So I'll use a class and call it a dot on my style sheet. So I'll say class is equal to top nav. So I'm using the top navigation. So I would say style is top nav. That's what I'm calling it. They can call it anything actually. Okay, and so that's my class. And so I have that as my class, and the div is closed right there. So I'm just going to style um the class. So I'll go straight to um my CSS. Before I go, I'll save this. Okay, and then open a new sheet. So I would open this. Just to put it, just a new sheet. Sorry, just a new sheet there. So for the CSS, what's important is you're able um, to call what you have on your div. So you have your div, you have top nav on the div, okay, and so the top nav, because it's a class, is going to be dot top nav, okay, and if you come to, well, I'll just open the other one, so it's side by side. So let's have the home open at this, so you can see what I'm doing. Um, Open with Notepad for now. You can use your several editors, like I've said before in my first video. So I've chosen to use a Notepad. Okay, so I would have this side by side. So that's going to be my CSS savers all files style.css. Remember, I called it sorry, I'm just gonna put style.css. Okay, make sure this is all right here. It's important. Okay, so you can still the style.css. You can see I've called it right here style.css. So I've just shown it, saved in the same folder, and that's why I've named it this. I don't need to put the link to where it is, because if it's a different folder, I've got to put where it is. And so it's important to understand that we are working on navigation today, and navigation always have a link. So I want to introduce the A tag here. So with the A tag, you have open A. There you put href. Okay, href equal to where you want it to go. In this case, I'm just going to make it empty, but inside there you put where the home should link to. That's what page is going to link to. So that means you've created several pages, and you're linking this to one of them, and then you put the name of the page there in the quotation mark that you have right there, and so you close. And so you always close your is like this, so it's gonna be closed that way. Okay. So now for this particular one, you have the same thing. Um, so what I'm just gonna do, because it's the same, I'm just gonna copy. Okay, Control C and then Control V, and then that's well. Okay, and copy that one. So you link them to different pages when you've created all the pages and you've called them names or given them names. Okay. So in this case, I'm just gonna close this as well with the A. Okay, you can see I've used A right here, and I have top nav. So what it's going to be is my top nav. I would I will refer to as so so for top nav on its own. I'm going to actually write the CSS for it. So remember, open. This is the syntax for CSS, by the way. So because it's a class. If I had an ID here, this would have been hashtag, not a dot. But because I have a class right here, you can choose to use the ID if you want to. I would have a dot here, so it's dot top nav, okay. And then the top nav, what I'm going to add to it is the description of my top nav. So maybe the background color, and so background color. Well, I prefer having it here. Background color. Background color is going to be in this case I can choose to have it as red. You can choose. Well, I would introduce it to extra codes soon. Um, well, it's a way of actually writing your colors, and so I'm just gonna close this right there. This is syntax for it. So I want the background color to be red. Okay, so for after the background color, I could actually put paper floor is it in. Okay, it in right there. Okay, cool. So we have the top nav as it is. Would actually look at I've used A on here, as you can see. I've used the A tag. For the A, I haven't called it a class or whatever. For A body tags, and you just use on their own. So A can be on their own, but in this case, because the A is inside the top nav, the class, I'm just going to have it as dot top nav, because I want to actually style the A, the content of the A. So that's what I'm going to do. The top nav A. Okay, so I'll open and close again. Okay, remember to always open and close like that. Okay, so the content can go in between right there. And so for top nav A, I can decide to put the color. When I say color, I mean the font color. This is how it's written in CSS. So for color, I will decide to use white. Okay. Okay. So that's white for the color, and so I would also like to have I have color white. Okay, and after the color, I can decide to have um, the padding. The padding is well. Okay, let's first of all have the text align. Text align. So text align is where you want to place the text. Is it right or left? In this case, I want it to be on the right. Okay. So I'm just gonna have right, because it's always most application is on the right, the logo is on the left. I want it on the right, and so you could decide. So text align, right, and so um I could also decide to use the padding for the top and bottom. Padding is interesting because I also introduce you to padding here, right here. So you have padding. Okay, so padding, depending on what you're doing, padding is top, right, bottom, left. So if I write 10px right here, then I'm referring to the top. Well, if I write if I write just 10px, then I'm referring to all directions, meaning that I've not specified the others. So it's assumed that 10px is for top, right, bottom, and left. Okay, but if I write 10px, 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 it means that top is 10. Well, it's the same thing as writing just 10px. But the first is the top, the second is the right, then the third is the bottom, and the fourth is the left. Okay, so in this case, let's assume I put for top to be 10. Okay, the padding on the top is 10, and then I decide to put for the right to the padding to be let's say 5, 5. So top, right, bottom is 10. Okay, and then left is 20. Okay, so I've chosen to have a padding like that. Okay, so that's top, right, bottom, left. Okay, so that's that for the padding, and I can decide to also use a Hoover for that. So I will show you how to do that. When you want to add the Hoover tag, you do this nav a make sure you pull the colon Hoover. It's interesting because Hoover is not here at all. But then it's assumed that it's understood because you've used a colon right here for the Hoover. So you open it, and then you can then close it, and then so what you're going to tell you is the color of the. So I want to say the color of the font when it's hovered, and the background. So for the font, I would remember its color. That's what. So for the font, I would say okay, um, black. I want to use the extra cool on this one. Um, okay, 4, 5, 6. So that's for black. You can write black anyway, but I've chosen to use the extra code. So the different colors to have it, but this is the way it is reading. So it's 6. Or if it's the same, I can make it 3. But I've chosen to leave it at 6. Okay, and so for the background, yeah, when it's hovered, background color. Okay, I'll choose to have it as so background color when it's hovered. I would say since the text is black, I would say white. Okay, so F F F. So that's when it's when there is a hover on it. And so there's also a class I want to add to this. Okay, which is on the HTML right here. It's called the selected. So because I want it, now I've added Hoover. Hoover is not a class, so I don't need to put it here. But if it's a class, I'm going to put it here because it's going to be a class or ID or div ID. So in this case, it's a class. So I'll say Hoover. I'll say selected. Okay, So if it's selected, if well, the homes is selected is going to be, so then selected is going to be equal to um sorry, class is equal to the selected. It's a class. So class is equal to selected right there. Okay, make sure you don't get confused. Sorry. You have a class selected. Since I'm bringing in the class selected, I'm just gonna go in here and have dot top nav. I'll show you what this is gonna. I was gonna be rating top nav a. Okay, and then because there's another class, so the class is in top nav. That's why I've got to write top nav first. You get? And then the selected is inside of top nav. So that's why top nav first. I mean top nav A. There's top nav, dot top nav, then A, and A, which is normally not a class but written on its own, and then you now have dot selected. Okay, I see three things right there. Yeah, three things right here. Here you have two. You have three right here. You have two right here. You have one right here. That's top nav. Here is top nav and A. And then this is top nav A hover. And then top nav A are selected. Dot selected. Okay, so open and close. Okay, so for top nav selected, I'm just going to put, if it's selected. Okay, before I do this, I would want us to see what our site looks like now. So I'm going to save everything before we go on the selected. But let's see what we have so far. Okay, it's always good practice to check whilst you work, so that you know if it's coming out right. Because sometimes it could be very frustrating if it's not coming out right. So I would open the file here. Okay, so it's basically home, right? So let's open our browser and see how that comes out. And so it should be up in a minute. So I would see, because it would tell us how far we've gone with what we're doing. Okay, just 2 minutes. Uh, okay. Okay, you can see what we have so far. Um, it's interesting because it's not the best, but we can actually work on this because the home, the about, and the contact us is still on the left, so we have to float right. So that's why I say it's good practice to always check. So in this case, you can see what we have here. The hover is okay. It's okay right there. The hover is okay. It turns. But then in this case, we have to look at the CSS for the top nav. So let's get to our CSS style sheet for that top nav, and then have this. It's so we set text align right, okay, padding this, and then we can put floats. I've not told you to put before, but I'll show you what this does. So you float it right. So floats. Remember you have to learn. Don't forget what I've just done there. It's really bad. I've not put my semicolon here. I've got to make sure the semicolon is right here. Okay. All the places I've missed my semicolon, I've got to put it right there. So before I add the floats, I'm just going to save and run it again and make sure everything's got semicolon as well. So I'll do this to float very soon. So okay, excellent. So you can see it's proper good. Now it's the white is there. The text align is well. It's not exactly text align. I would make it center in this case, so that you would. Okay, and then you can now run it again. Refresh. Okay, so it's center, it's not right. That's fine with text align. I'm okay with that. But mind you, you can what's important is the floats I'm going to use right here. So for the float, I'm floating it right. Okay, so right and then semicolon. Okay, so now I'm going to save it and then float it right. Yeah, so it's going to the right here. Yeah, so this is exactly what it should be right here. So it's floated right. Okay, and so it's floated right, and you can see it's got everything as we have as we want it. Okay, and then the next, the most important thing now is to remove this underline right here. So it's so because it's a tag, it well, it's linked to the hyperlink. It's text hyphen decoration. Okay, and I'm going to put colon, and I'm saying none. Okay, let's save it and then let's confirm what has happened, and it's off. Okay, so you can see what we have so far. This is okay, and so I've introduced the text decoration right here to remove the underline on the A. And so as we go, it's important for us to now work on the selected. So the A tag selected. Now if I click on this, it's not selecting anything. It's not showing anything when I click. But now when I click, I want it to show me something different. So when I click, I want the text. So the color should be red. So I'll put color red. Okay, don't forget your semicolon, so important. Okay, and for so that's the color for the selected, and the background for the selected I want to use white. Background color, okay, white. Okay, so let's save it now, and then let's see how it looks like here. I refresh it. Okay, so the home is selected, so you can see the background is white. If I select that, okay, because mind you, the selected is only on the home. So we've only added the class to the home. So so we could decide to add the class to so if we have the class on different, let's have we have this class here, here, and here. Let's save. Okay. And so let's refresh that. Okay. You can see it's because it's on three of them, it's all come right. I mean, so on any one you want this selected. So this is a particular page. So it's important to choose what you want for that page. So we stick with just one for now. And then when we create the other pages, we can add all this to it. Okay, and I think we've come to the end of this tutorial. I'll save this and then let's have a look at how it looks like right there. See what we have. So on the other pages, we'll are selected to where we want it. Thank you.